All right, we're good. Brittany, welcome. Thank you so much for having a conversation with me today.
Yeah, thanks, Dwana, for having us. We're really excited to be here.
Yeah, well, talk to me a little bit about what you do, the organization you're representing, and its involvement with the Black and Brown Business Summit.
Yeah, so I'm Britney Appelgate. I lead community relations for Wells Fargo in Iowa. So that includes all of our philanthropy and community impact work in the state. And as I'm sure you know, and everyone else knows, Wells Fargo is one of the largest financial institutions in the country. And we're also one of the largest private employers here in central Iowa.
Right. Well, great. And you've been in that position. You're fairly new to the position, right?
Yes.
How long has it been now?
Like 13 months,
okay,
a little over a year.
It was a little over a year. I was like, I think it's been longer than a year, but I wasn't for sure.
Just barely.
Okay, wonderful. Well, just talk to me a little bit about Wells Fargo and why investing in the Athene Black and Brown Business Summit was what you're wanting to do as a presenting sponsor.
Yes, so Wells Fargo, and I represent the Wells Fargo Foundation, and our mission is to support historically marginalized groups in accessing pathways to economic advancement and generational wealth. And because we're a financial institution, we want to do that through ways that align with our business and ways that we think can really accomplish the mission in the community.
Right.
And small business growth is one of them. We know that small businesses are really the heart of our neighborhoods. They create vibrant communities and they employ over 1 million people across the country. And they're our customers too. And so the Athene Black and Brown Business Summit is important to the community and important to Wells Fargo because it creates that environment for these business owners to learn and grow and be successful. And it's right in line with our mission and as a company and as a foundation.
Yeah, no, I think that's really great. And you've probably touched on it just a little bit, but talk about the importance of being involved. You know, I know you mentioned helping in marginalized communities, and tell me why that is such a big deal to Wells Fargo.
It's a big deal to Wells Fargo because we know that there are disparities in our state and across the country, right? Thanks to work that's been done locally by the Directors Council with the One Economy work. And the Latinx Project, we know that there are disparities for communities of color right here in the Des Moines area in terms of financial inclusion, economic advancement, wealth building, and then small business ownership. And so we want everyone to be able to have a chance. If their dream is to own a small business, we want them to be able to have that opportunity. And because of the disparities that exist, we know that events like this are important to support because it creates that opportunity to try to eliminate that disparity.
Yeah, and I think also too with you all being involved in this great work, I think it speaks volumes to your employees who identify as being Black and Brown, that they're working for a company that is very supportive, you know, not saying it, but actually doing actionable things to support the work.
Yeah, we hope so. And, you know, we at Wells Fargo have our employee resource networks, which are kind of affinity groups for different populations. And we have our Black and African American Connection Group, our Hispanic and Latino Connection Group. And they are so involved in events like this behind the scenes or at cultural festivals in the community. And so I appreciate you saying that because I think it is an example of how we talk the talk, but also try to walk the walk as much as we can.
Exactly. Well, we know that Wells Fargo is doing so much more beyond the Athene Black and Brown Business Summit. So talk a little bit more about some of the things that Wells Fargo has been involved with, if it's in our community, if it's across the state, or even, I know worldwide you're doing all kinds of things.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really excited about a few things we're doing here, right here in central Iowa. And the Black and Brown Business Summit is one grant that we do here in the small business growth category. But just last year, we announced a $700,000 gift to the Center at 6.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, which I was so excited about. I think that's going to be a transformational project for the community. And we chose to invest in that one because it's in the most diverse neighborhood in the state, the 6th Avenue corridor. And its goal is to incubate Black and Brown businesses. And so particularly we're going to be supporting the bodega.
Okay.
And so it's going to be an opportunity for businesses to put out inventory in small amounts and really figure out what that price point is in a safe environment where they're supported. And I like to think about it as like a mini grocery store, right? You can go in, you can buy juice, pastries, toys, cards, art, everything there, and it's all from minority-owned businesses in our community. And so I'm so excited about that investment. We've also done a $1 million commitment to the Evelyn K. Davis Center and the Drake University Small Business Clinic to support their work with small business coaching. And so really what we see this as is an investment in the ecosystem here in Des Moines for small businesses, with events like the summit, with these investments and programs in the community. Hopefully what will happen is these businesses that get the chance to participate will just flourish and really be able to scale and grow.
No, I think that's really great. I think, really pouring back into your community is what's most important. And it sounds like the impact that will be had on not just Black and brown businesses, that it will flourish, I think, in part because of the work that you all are doing at Wells Fargo. So definitely want to say thank you for the work that you are doing and the projects that you are wanting to be a part of as well.
Yeah, thanks, Dwana. I think it's really fulfilling for me personally. And I really appreciate working at a company that does value this and does invest a lot of funding into it. I think it's the right thing, but it also makes business sense, right? The more small businesses there are, the more financial inclusion there is. Hopefully the more people can bank. And with Wells Fargo, that'd be great. But even if they don't choose Wells Fargo, it only supports our economy and our communities. And so there's a business reason for it all too. And so it's just really great to be a part of.
How can people get just learn more about Wells Fargo, looking at your website? I know you guys have everything from bank offerings to careers for hiring. And so how can our listeners just learn a little bit more about Wells Fargo?
Yes, definitely go to the website. That's where you can capture a lot of the information. I would say we've got really friendly people at our branches too, and we've got several branches across the metro. So be sure to pop in. And, I think for anybody looking for specific information, right, we have our human resources part of our website where we are looking to hire and hire diverse candidates. And then we have some work we're doing with supplier diversity and really wanting to make sure that the vendors we contract with look like the communities that we serve and that we work with. And so it's all on the website. It can be a lot to navigate. And so trying to kind of direct yourself to what you're looking for.
Okay, that's great. Well, I want to thank you so much for talking to me about the support that Wells Fargo is giving. I think it's amazing being the presenting sponsor for this year's Athene Black and Brown Summit. Have you been to the summit before?
I have not yet.
Okay, great.
It's on my calendar for my first year, but all of my colleagues at Wells Fargo, we always have bankers that are there and speakers and a booth, and they love it. It's one of the events they look forward to every year, so I'm so excited to be able to see it in action.
Well, good. We will be there on that day, so we'll try to pull you over and just get your response to everything that you've seen and everything that Wells Fargo's been able to pour into. Before we leave, I like to do a positive ending to the show. This has been great conversation about all of the great things that Wells Fargo is doing. But if you have a quote, a scripture, a song, someone who inspires you, would you share that with our listeners today?
Dwana, you got me.
I know. It's just anything. I know it's a thing. So I'll go. And then as I'm going, then I'll have you chime in and share something. So for me, my biggest thing is my faith. Many people know that I am truly, truly about my faith. And so what I'm working on this year is just trusting. And so my verse, which I've stolen from my mom, it was her verse first, but she passed it on to me. And it talks about trusting the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your understanding. And all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. So my thing is this year is I'm just going to trust. I'm going to do my part and put the fillers out there. but I'm just going to trust that God's going to work it out and he'll have me go on the path I'm supposed to go. So that's not easy doing, right? Because there's things I want to do, but I feel like that's kind of where I'm looking and leading to do this year, is to just trust.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, mine isn't necessarily a quote, but it's just, I think, my philosophy this year. You know, as I get older, I'm realizing something that I think is just so beautiful is the interconnectedness that we all have with one another and that we all have with our community. Everything from, you know, being able to wave at a neighbor next door, or like, you know, kind of air your grievances with your neighbors about the snowplow that came through, to being stuck in rush hour traffic, to the community coming together for an event like the Black and Brown Business Summit, right, to support one another. And I think ultimately, you know, there's a lot of things that we look at in the world and we say, oh my gosh, the world is tough. It's never been this bad. It's a hard place to be, which certainly there are things that are difficult, but I really think that there is a connection everywhere that you look. Yeah. And that personally is just what I've been focusing on so far this year, and something that I'm really trying to take note of. And luckily, to be in this role, I get to see a lot of beautiful connection and a lot of meaningful community a lot.
No, that's great. See, you didn't know what you're going to say at first, and you just rattled off.
Well, you inspired me, Dwana.
Good. I'm glad I could help you with that. But I think that is great. We all are connected, and at the end of the day, we really need each other. You know, that's how this thing works. So I appreciate your time today, and I thank you for all the work that you're doing, all the work that Wells Fargo is doing to make this community and this world a better place. So I appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to share and for all you're doing to promote the good things happening.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Dwana.